Here, now it's time to fill the jars. We're going to pack them to about an inch below the top, and you definitely need one of these because this is increments. It gives you the measurements. So if you set this on the lip, that'll give you the inch. So you want to fill the food to that part. You know, just bring it up to that ring usually. That'll get you right where you want to go. And I'll show you afterwards what you do with this end of it, because you got to get the air bubbles out. Pack it up good. Now, let's see what we got here. You always use a slotted spoon because you want to make sure that you're not getting all the fat and grease in there, because you partially cooked it. It'll cook the rest of the way in 75 minutes in the canner. And that just means you can either eat it cold right out of the jar if you have to, or you can put it in any recipe. Now that will pack down nicely. You want to try and keep as much of the air out of it as you can. That's that one. And we'll go for this one. I may have to do 2 segments. I may have to do another round of jars. It's not light out. It's early in the morning. They say this takes so long that you just want to get as much done as you can. So I may have to, if I have any left over, I may have to go out to storage and get a couple more jars and get them sterilized and heated up. The lucky part is it's all still in the same yard. You ain't got far to go. This is so good because all winter long you're like, oh, I want to make tacos or anything. Sauces. You're like, oh, I got hamburger. You can do this with ground sausage, ground pork, anything. I mean, literally, it's just. And at the altitude we're at, 10 pounds of pressure for the pressure canner makes it perfect. You know, most stuff's 90 minutes. The quarts are 90 minutes. The pints are 75. But always look at your book just to see where you're at. Get an idea what your altitude is, because that also plays a big part in your pressures. Where I'm at is 10 pounds. And I think over 1,000 feet or something is 15, something like that. But I haven't done this in so many years, and this year I just started doing it again. I absolutely love canning because it beats going to the store. You get the stuff. And the way the economy is today, you buy this stuff cheap, you can it, and in 6 months to a year, 2 years, you're eating food that you paid 70% less for, that you don't have to go to the store and get, which really irritates people because they're whining about how much they're spending on stuff, and you just go in the back room, pull out a couple mason jars, and you got a meal for several with leftovers. But pretty soon, hopefully, I'll be doing this in the new kitchen up back. Oh, I might have killed that one. Nope, we're good. We're good. That'll pack right in there nice. This is nice too because the more you get in the jars, the less you're going to have to add the boiling water, because you want to keep that down. Because like I say, this literally cooks while it's canning, so it's completely safe. After 10 minutes of cooking, it's already killed all the bacteria and anything that can make you sick, especially at 10 pounds of pressure. Nothing can survive that. So 75 minutes guarantees a good seal and give you a good product for years to come. Can't beat it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do another couple of jars. It looks like this was a lot of hamburger, but I'll get these in there and going. And then today I'll go out get some more jars, and we will be in good shape. Once this is done, I'll wipe the rings, the glass rings, make sure there's no materials, grease or anything on there. Just a little bit more than that. And pack it down. You really want to get that in there good. You don't want any air bubbles lingering. You want it to hang in there. I know this won't last. Won't have this stuff for 5-10 years. I mean, literally we use it, so that'll be just fine. Last 2 weeks I've been doing squash. I did cube beef, a couple of top end round roasts, and I cubed them up. I packed the the pipe mason jars with them, and those were 90 minutes. And those will be good too. You can use them in stews, or just, like I said, right out of the container. It's like, oh, good stuff. Yeah, I think probably 2 more jars. If it wasn't so cold out and dark out, I'd be over there right now getting those. But no biggie. Might have to make a lot of tacos. But like I say, 1 pound works out to about 1 pound a jar. And it's really good for long-term food storage. And hopefully my video editing will get good, and I'll be able to mash up all the videos that I've done this morning to put it on one show. But for now, we're going to do the best we can. Wow, that's a lot of hamburger. It's looking good too. I tell you, it smells awesome. Now, what I like to do, and it's optional, is I like to put a teaspoon of kosher or pickling salt. You can use either, but nothing iodized, on top before you put the water in. That way, you know, it's more of a flavor thing. It's not really a preservative, because once you can this, you're pretty much safe. All right. That's that. Just keep on here. I want to keep that clean and neat. Put the lid on the old grill. Throw it back on the stove. I just shut the stove off, as we've got boiling water that now I have to add to the jars, which, being the smart guy I am, threw the funnel in here before I did that. Nice. Alright, grab my handy dandy ladle and a bucket of water. As you boil your water, everything goes in the jars hot. I got the pressure canner out in the kitchen on that stove cooking, so that's getting all warmed up, because you want that warm when you're putting these warm jars in there. So you want to make this go to that fill line right there, and then you go around with this and just poke it, mash it down, and get all the air bubbles out, and top off the water if you have to. But this should, you can always see the line coming up the side. It's almost there. Actually, it is there. Huh. That never happens. That never happens. Oh, well, let's see. Yep, that did it. You want to take this and go like that and get all the air out. Just a couple of times, pack it down. I'm taking, I put a little bit more water in that. But you want to cover it. You want to cover it, so we'll do that. Just a touch. Nothing, just a touch. Alright. Now we'll go to the next one over. We'll do the same thing to all of them. I do want to put a lid on that though because she's ready to go. Put the lids on there. Alright, let's get this going. It is important that you keep the water line where it's supposed to go. You want it over the food. And you definitely want to work the air out of it. There we go. Nothing like the smell of the Coleman stove when you shut them off. This is awesome. This is awesome. I haven't figured out how to combine videos, so if I can't get this in with the rest of them and figure out how to mash it up, I will do probably another show today. It'll be part 2 of this, because I want to videotape, you know, the canning process and make sure that if there's any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I'll get back to you. And if you have any suggestions, that helps too. Because basically what I'm doing is, I'm doing it the way I do it, but I'm more than up for suggestions, and I like the fact that other people that want to get into this, helps them tremendously to read the comments and get little tricks here and there. Yeah, see, I like the way that's working. That's gonna go good. It's gonna go good. And the pressure canner, it's an All-American, and the coolest part is you preheat it with the water in it, and once you do that, oh, it's a shadow. Yeah, you preheat it with about 2 to 3 inches of water in the bottom, and once you do that, you can set your hot jars in there, put the lid on it and secure it, but don't put your weight on it. You want it to come up to temperature, and out of the vent hole you want it to be blowing straight steam for 10 minutes, because that'll get the air out of the canning machine. And after 10 minutes, you put your 10-pound weight on there, or the thing's multi, but you put it on number 10. And then you wait till that comes up to 10 pounds of pressure on your gauge. And once that's done, you set your timer for 75 minutes, and then you absolutely let her go. But always remember, when it's done, when your timer goes off and it's time to shut the stove off, and don't even think about touching it until all the pressure's down, the gauge reads 0 or right there, you know. Then you can pull your weight off, let it finish venting, and then after that it'll be safe to open it up. But when you undo everything and open it up so the lid's facing away from you, so you don't take the blast of steam and smoke yourself out. Good way to get hurt. A lot of people are scared of pressure canning, and that's one of the dangers of doing it. You just gotta have patience. This is not something for someone with no patience. About a 3-hour process or more, but it pays off in the long run. You definitely love it. There. Now, I'll be loading these into the canner. We're putting these bad boys into the canner now and let it finish coming up to temperature. The other big thing is when you put the rings on, do them hand tight, do them pretty decent. You know, don't crank them, but get them on there hand tight, because that's, a lot of people either put them on too tight and they don't pressure can, or they're too loose, and it means you got to lift them out, they pop, and then they won't seal. So you definitely want to give them a little crank, but don't go totally crazy on it. I haven't had any this year that didn't seal, so feeling pretty lucky. Now I will be getting the canner set up, and we will coming back on again.